Hey y'all, I'm Abby, More Than Just Skin, and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so excited that you're taking some time out of your day to spend a little bit of time here with me. So today's video is going to be what is in my makeup bag for the upcoming week. Also, I'm going to do a recap of what was in my makeup bag for last week. I am wearing everything on my face today that was in my makeup bag last week, and I'm going to tell you how it worked, what I thought about it, and some of these may actually go in to the next week. So we'll talk about that as well. So if you're interested in seeing what I have in my makeup bag for next week, then just hit that subscribe button and here we go. Okay, starting with last week, I primed my face. I actually added this after my video. I added the Origins Original Skin. I like to put that kind of in the center of my face. I find that it just makes my foundation last longer, and I've really been enjoying this. So I primed my face with this and also with the Laura Mercier Radiance Primer Foundation. I love this one. I wanted a Radiance foundation primer because the foundation that I chose was a little more on the matte side, and I found that this really kind of helped it not be quite so matte. The foundation that I used this week was the Bobbi Brown Skin Long Wear Weightless Foundation SPF 15. Love this foundation. I'm wearing it today. It is super hot outside. I have been in trial this week. I have been sweating this week, and I have found that it really has held up to the hot heat and to what I've had to do. I've had long days and it really has been great. So I have been enjoying this. The concealer, let me find it, that I have been using is, I did put the concealer, this concealer in, and I can safely say I never had to conceal around my face. Sorry about that. Okay, so the foundation is full coverage, and I did not need to spot concealer around my face. I had put the Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof 12-Hour Concealing Stick in there for that purpose. I did not need that, so I never used it even once. But what I used under my eyes was the Urban Decay Naked Skin. I had forgotten how much I loved this. It is great. It definitely is probably in my top 5 of all time concealers. So I enjoyed that this week. As far as powdering my face, I used the Milan Set and Glow powder. This is newer to me and I enjoyed it. I still don't love it yet, but I'm going to try it some more. But it was a really nice powder, and as you can see, I think it did a really good job. For setting my under eyes, I relied on the Cover FX translucent powder. This is great to set your under eyes. I also relied on this to carve out a little bit of contour. I never did any major contouring. I just wore bronzer this week, but this did help make that a little sharper. As far as bronzer goes, I had 2 bronzers in my makeup bag that I actually wore both of them every single day. The first one is this bronzer by Note, and it is in the shade 20. Y'all have heard me rave about this bronzer. It's beautiful. It has kind of a reddish tone. I'm wearing it today, and it's just perfect for this time of year. And then I would top it with the smaller size of the Hourglass. This is the Luminous Bronze Light. It just gives you a nice, pretty golden glow. So that is what I relied on for bronzer. I also had my Hourglass palette, and I would focus that kind of right around my eyes to give me a little bit more brightening and luminosity. As far as blush, highlight, and eyes, I relied on the Tarte Aspen Ovart palette. This palette was perfect. I'm wearing it today. I was in trial this week. I needed some neutral eye looks. I didn't need anything too exciting, and this was perfect. The blush is a great blush shade, and I actually found myself liking this highlighter. Sometimes I would mix the highlighter with this eyeshadow color, but I found that I really enjoyed it. And while I put my Essence Pure Nude highlighter in with this, I actually never found myself reaching for this highlighter. I did prime my eyelids with the Bare Minerals, and this is in the shade Soft Shell. I enjoyed that all week. And I did, in fact, one night go out and I did put the Pixie by Petra Bare Brilliance, the fairy lights on my lid on top of the eyeshadow look I had worn all day, and it was a lot of fun. It was very glittery, so I did enjoy using that. As far as brows, I relied on the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencil. This has just kind of been my go-to this summer because it gives kind of a softer brow look, and that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I started out with the Lancome Drama Liquid Pencil in the shade Brulee. This was a hot mess. It just created a look that I didn't love. I found it to be, the eyeliner to be too creamy. It just kind of didn't do what I wanted it to do. So on day 2, I added to the bag my Trish McAvoy gel eyeliner in the shade Deep Aubergine. So I relied on this, and I did not rely on this. So when I do a declutter, I'm going to hope I remember that I do not care for this. I think I used my liquid eyeliner maybe once. That was it. And then the mascaras that I relied upon were, of course, the MAC Extended Play and the Voluminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. I also had the Clear Brow Gel by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which was perfect, and my lip combo, which I literally wore every single day. Trying to find a place to put all this stuff down. Every single day was Tarte Rum Punch, which I'm wearing right now, and it looks like this. The lip liner was Nude Icon by, or Iconic Nude, I'm sorry, by Charlotte. And the lip gloss was Milk for Honey by Smith & Colt, and I'm wearing that right now. So it was definitely, oh, and then I did add this after my video, a setting spray, the Urban Decay Quick Fix. I thought that this was a good one to add because I did have a matte foundation. I felt like I might need something that made it a little bit more hydrating and looking a little bit more radiant. So that was last week's What's in My Makeup Bag. So now we're going to focus on what I have put in this week's. Some of it may be repeats, but we're just going to kind of dive right in. Sticking with the order in which I would put the products on, I actually picked up 2 primers because I'm not really sure which one I want to use. The first one is the Blur Primer, the Touche Éclat Blur Primer by YSL, so I'm going to use that one. And then I'm also going to use the JCat Beauty H2O Fresh Dewy Base Primer. I love this hydrating primer. So those are the 2 primers that I plan to use. The foundation that I grabbed was my Luminous Silk Foundation by Armani. I have it in the shade 6. This may be a little dark for me. If it is, I will add a pump of something lighter, but I did not grab that because I'm not exactly sure yet. As far as concealers go, I'm sticking with the same 2 from last week. I'm going to do the Tarte Amazonian Clay for around my face, and I'm going to stick with the Urban Decay for under my eyes. As far as powder goes, I want to stick with the Milani because I still am not sure what I think about it. So I'm going to stick with that one. And I'm also going to stay with the Cover FX. I want to use that a little bit more to also see what I think. As far as bronzer goes, I have grabbed the e.l.f. bronzing palette, mainly because I'm not sure how I feel about this. And if I do a declutter, I'm not sure if I'm going to get rid of this one or not. So I'm putting that in this week's makeup bag. I'm also grabbing the e.l.f. blush palette. I don't think I have ever really used this a lot, and I feel like it gives me a few color options to go with, so I'm going to use that for this week. I'm also sticking with the Hourglass palette to brighten a little bit under my eye. That's going to stay in there as well. As far as highlighters go, I grabbed the NARS Fort de France, and I don't think I can even show y'all because it's kind of a hot mess, but that's kind of how it looks. And so that is going to be the highlighter that I am going to be relying on. As far as eyeshadows go, I grabbed the Milani Most Loved Mattes, and it looks like this. I feel like I can achieve some different colors, neutral colors, warm toned, and cool tones. The problem is this does not come with any shimmer shades. So I decided to grab my Urban Decay Beach palette, which has basically nothing but shimmer shades and one matte. So I thought that would be a good something good to add with that palette. I also grabbed the Glazing Eye Gloss by Butter London in the shade Icing. So if I do a cool toned look, I do have something shimmery that can go on my eyelids. I'm also going to keep in there the same Fairy, is this called Fairy? What is this called? Fairy Lights, Liquid Fairy Lights Bare Brilliance by Pixie. I'm going to leave that in there as well. As far as eyeliners go, I actually grabbed a few this time. I grabbed the Marc Jacobs Fine Liner Ultra Skinny Gel Eye Crayon because I haven't used this in a while and I can't remember what I think about it. I grabbed the CoverGirl Queen Vivid Impact in the color Truffle for my brown liner, and then I grabbed two that are a little different. I grabbed Urban Decay Alkaline and Urban Decay Lucky. So I thought that these would be fun to use with that eyeshadow palette. As far as mascaras go, I am going to stay with the Lash Paradise because I think it's about on its last leg, so I kind of want to use it up. And of course my MAC. I'm also sticking with the same brow products, which are the Anastasia Brow Pencil and the Clear Brow Gel. Now, as far as lips go, I decided to give myself a few different options. I'm throwing in the Iconic Nude Lip Liner one more time, and then I also am adding Whirl by MAC. And the lipsticks I chose are Birthday Suit by Too Faced, and it's just kind of this neutral color. It looks like that. In case I wanted a bright pink, I grabbed Georgie Girl by Marc Jacobs. And then I also grabbed Nude Vanille by Tom Ford. So those are the three lipsticks that I thought would be good for this coming week. The mist to set my face is going to be the Hangover 3-in-1 by Too Faced. I thought that would be really good. And I did grab 3 lip glosses. The first one is Icing 726 by Chanel. The next one is Keep It Full Prismatic Peach 03 by Milani. And then this Lip Maximizer by Dior. So yeah, so that is going to be what I have got in my makeup bag for this coming week. I will let y'all know next week how I did, what I thought about it, if I had to add some stuff. And I apologize, I think I'm really glistening on here. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I would love to see you back here on a regular basis. And as always, I hope this video finds you having a fantastic day and a great week. And I will see y'all soon. Bye, y'all.